So good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and as you know, I saw Spider-Man No Way Home today. It was my second time watching the movie, but my first time watching it at the IMAX, the iconic IMAX in Waterloo. It was a great time. I got the audience cheering along to certain moments in the film. If you've seen the film already, you know what I am talking about. Just being the leader of the chorus of cheers. It was a momentous occasion. It was great. And then I got home, flipped on my PC, and then I saw this article here from Bounding into Comics. And it's another one of those takes from a Hollywood great. I suppose she's great. I mean, I do like My Cousin Vinny. I thought that was a fantastic movie. I thought Marisa Tomei was excellent. But honestly, when you see this take about Aunt May, it's very disrespectful. And it just proves that actors know nothing about comics, or if they do, they just want to disregard the source material and have their own delusional take about a beloved character. In this case, Aunt May. And Marisa Tomei revealed that she wanted to make that iconic character in the Spider-Man comics gay. Okay, so let's take this away. Tomei's comments came during an interview with Geeks of Color. So when you get a YouTube title called Geeks of Color, I'm already thinking, so to be a nerd or to be a geek, do you have to be categorized into what type of genre you like? Because it's like heavy metal music. When I think about that, does it have to be categorized that only Caucasian people listen to it? Because a guy like me loves that genre of music, and I'm just wondering, would I be allowed to be in that category as well, or have my own category? Thankfully, no, because it is like anything else. Anyone can appreciate it and enjoy it. So what I'm going to do, folks, I'm going to go over to this actual piece of cringe dialogue of an interview, and I'm just going to let you hear what Marisa Tomei has to say about the situation with Happy Hogan and where the idea, the germination for Aunt May to become gay or possibly gay came from.
Showed up. There was a moment where I felt that May was, maybe she should just be with a woman, because like Ben is gone and who should she be with? And we were kind of talking about it. And so I actually really wanted Amy Pascal from Sony to be my girlfriend.
Oh my God, Amy Pascal with that friggin' wig. And this guy, I know who he is. He's Dorian Parks. He used to be part of Collider when it was still Collider, and since they disbanded, or rather the key members of staff disbanded and they started forming their own channels. I know who he is, but the fact that he responds to her here by her revelation of that she should be gay, and he's like, oh, it's amazing. There's nothing amazing about it, Dorian. You're very, very misguided. But I guess that actors like Marisa Tomei, they want to speak to YouTubers like this because they can get the narrative across and no one's going to say anything. But then thankfully for Bounding in Comics, they do find out these things and they do highlight it here because I think it is worth talking about. Now, one thing I want to say about my channel, guys, when I started last year, this wasn't my intent. I was just going to talk about things that I loved. But to be honest, it's so boring because only so many people want to hear you talk about a film that you like and a film that you recommend. I still do that from time to time, actually. But recently, I just thought, you know what, Jace, you just got to sit down. You got to tell the truth. And if you upset people, fine. If you don't, no problem at all. I mean, you gotta, look, I can't have the fear, man. I just have to go into this and give my honest breakdown about this. Marisa Tomei, I think she's taking too much of the cuckoo pills. Do you know what I'm saying? So she's already doing like yoga and Pilates, and it seems to have gotten to her mind now that she has to be in this place where she's got to think that to say these kind of comments, it's going to win fans over. It's not, because Aunt May is such an iconic character. She really is. And of course, when I saw Marisa Tomei in Civil War, Captain America, I thought, okay, a young Aunt May, they're updating Spider-Man. I kind of get it. I know some people had a problem with that, but I was actually okay with it. Of course, when Tony Stark refers to her as Aunt Hottie, you're kind of getting those little things now, like, okay, maybe we should be seeing her as somebody else. Now, of course, if Aunt May was to be made gay, for me personally, it's a Joey Tribbiani moment from season 1 of Friends. And if you haven't seen that show, what's the matter with you? It is an all-time classic. But I tell you what, you know, if you've read the Spider-Man comics, now for me growing up in the 80s, the Spider-Man comics from the 60s is where I started everything from, written by Stan Lee, drawn by Steve Ditko and occasionally Jack Kirby. But the character of Aunt May, she's like this really, she's like a pillar. She's like a pillar of the community. She does a lot. Obviously, that version of Aunt May in the 60s, she was a lot more elderly, so Peter couldn't say or do anything to shock her. And the fact that she would, well, in Marisa Tomei's case, why would you disrespect the memory of Ben Parker by going off with another man, or in this case, another woman? You know, she wasn't like that. And I just hate this train of thought. Like, there's no respect for the source material. Like when you got Rosemary Harris in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films and the latest Sally Field with Andrew Garfield, you never looked at those actresses, or you never heard those actresses making a bad take about the character of Aunt May. May is such a pillar of the community, and also she had a next door neighbor, Anna Mae Watson, the aunt of Mary Jane Watson, that other iconic woman in the Spider-Verse. Now, if you're going to make a character gay in the Spider-Verse, I would actually hedge my bets on Angourie Rice, who plays the current version of Betty Brant, because she was in the show called Mayor of Easttown with Kate Winslet, and she played a gay character in that, and it was really, really good. So if she were to become that version in a future Spider-Man film, I would have no problem with it, because she is what I consider like a grade D character. She is of no importance. She was a big deal in the Spider-Man comics, but not anymore in the film universe. And it also reminds me of the rise of Palpatine, Star Wars, where you had two same-sex characters kissing at the end, because it's Star Wars, it's Disney. We've got to push a little bit of a message in the film because we know you're going to like it, and nobody did. When I saw it at the cinema, I just thought, really? Are we going here now? When you think of Star Wars, you don't think of two characters you've never seen before just making out at the end. Of course, they wouldn't do it with characters like Kylo Ren or Darth Vader, would they? Because that would be sacrilegious. So for Marisa Tomei to suggest, even minutely suggest that this was a thing that she was thinking of, and even getting this scream fest here, this wig-wearing bad dresser, Amy Pascal, you gotta love her, to be in the corner of the room, and then she would just look at her and go, "Hey, what's going on, girlfriend?" Oh my God. And look, here's the big shocker. Here's the big punchline. Tomei added, no one went for it at the time. Well, I'm hoping they never go for it, because I'm pretty sure Sony has run some data, some market research to see how people might feel about this. And I guess there probably are some people, maybe like Tom Roth, who'll definitely be against the idea, because you don't have to bring in any kind of politics into something like the Spider-Man franchise. I'm pretty sure it's going to go there at some point. But novelist and YouTuber writer John Del Arroz reacted to this revelation, saying, well, everybody was just cheering that Spider-Man No Way Home movie was safe. They weren't going to put any SJW stuff in it, and that makes it great. Let's applaud. But I always have to remind you, these people, these actors, these cretins from Hollywood, they hate you. They hate your families. They hate everything that you love, and they want to destroy it with their SJW nonsense every single time. So stop giving money to people who hate you, he added. Guy's got a point. He's absolutely right. But you know what, Hollywood? Here's an idea. Perhaps create a brand new character for that same universe. Bring them in. Don't take an existing character. And suddenly you're bored one day and you thought, you know what? I'm just going to change their sexuality because they've been gay or straight for far too long. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. And what I liked what Mr. Aroz said here was, these people do it every single time. They have no respect for any of the creations beforehand. They have no respect for the way any of these characters were. And they just want to subvert and destroy everything they touch. Every single time. John, I get the rhetoric, mate. I understand it completely. I feel this frustration all the time. There's Aunt May and Uncle Ben from Amazing Fantasy 15, which is a great comic anyway. And also, I would say as well, you know, poor Tim Drake in DC, you know, he wasn't allowed to be in love with Stephanie Brown any longer. They had to kind of shift that gear slightly, didn't they? And now they're making it out to be a really important thing. But I'm just kind of frustrated by everything that I'm hearing at the moment. It's look, one day I'll probably not even be interested in going to watch a Spider-Man movie anymore if they want to bring this kind of nonsense into the franchise. It's a multi-billion dollar making franchise, so why ruin it? If it ain't broke, Hollywood, why do you want to attempt to even fix it? What's ironic as well, that most of these actors are given these comic book roles, they disregard the source material anyway. And when I say ironic, because comic books are storyboards for a movie. That's what they are. They are the basic concept of what eventually becomes a movie. So, I don't know. I think Marisa Tomei, to be very kind to her, I think she's got her head in the clouds. It's a little bit of virtue signaling going on for sure within this article. It's very laughable. I mean, I just sit there and I think, right, okay, whatever. Nobody's really batting an eyelid about it. Again, like I said, you can bring in gay characters as brand new characters into a successful franchise. If the audience reacts to them in a certain way, great. If they don't, they don't. Just don't bring them in. Don't shoehorn them, as some people have said in the comments as well. So folks, if you enjoyed this video today, don't forget to give this video a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and I do appreciate the new subscribers who have joined my channel in the last few days. It's a long way to go, folks, before I even get to that magical figure of whatever, maybe 1,000. But if you really enjoyed my take today on this story by Marisa Tomei, wowee, how the mighty in Hollywood is slowly falling. You know what? I saw that film the other day, Don't Look Up, with Leonardo DiCaprio and Jonah Hill and Jennifer Lawrence. And, you know, it's about 4 comets that are flying towards Earth to destroy it. Honestly, with the way this nonsensical narrative is going on at the moment in Hollywood, I wish that would bloody well happen tomorrow. Just end this world tomorrow, man. I'll be fine. So take it easy, folks, and I'll catch you on the next video.
Big day.